As California prepares to raise the gas tax and vehicle registration fees, Senator Bradford, along with Legislative Black Caucus members, helped shape the legislation that is set to raise billions of dollars. While some lawmakers were hesitant to support the tax hike, Senator Bradford negotiated language aimed at including the state's most disadvantaged communities in terms of jobs and business opportunities.
Because people of color in general are taken for granted, and they fail to realize a lot of times in corporate America as well as government, if you're launching a new program, you're going to have targeted marketing. And a lot of times you just think, cookie cutter approach is going to reach everybody, and that doesn't necessarily work. There's ethnic media that needs to be engaged, because that's how many of these ethnic communities, whether you're Latino, you're Asian, you're African American, you rely on that as your source of information. And I saw that they weren't really targeting that. I challenged them.
In June, Senator Bradford convened a roundtable discussion with Governor Brown, policymakers, business and community leaders on the rollout of Senate Bill 1. Willie Hagan, California State Dominguez Hills president, shared the importance of the meeting and the inclusion for minority businesses and job seekers from disadvantaged communities.
Because it focuses on a very, very important topic, a comprehensive forward-thinking plan to address the public transportation infrastructure needs, along with a process to ensure diversity among contractors executing this plan will have a long-lasting impact affecting many aspects of this state and its future. We are honored to play our small part in this process by helping to facilitate such a critical discussion. I would like to thank Senator Steve Bradford, a proud alumnus of our university who represents our campus in the 35th Senate District, for asking us to co-host this forum with him. His tireless efforts to strengthen this region have made a lasting impression and a lasting impact on the local economy. And he continues to advocate for the families and businesses of this community, working to create opportunities for growth and ensuring that there's a level playing field so that all can thrive.
This is a very important meeting. I'm glad that such a large crowd of people are here. We're talking about diversity in construction, diversity in the spending coming out of the recent funding bill for our roads and local transportation, as well as bridges. So this is part of the larger question of how equal and fair is America. And we know, going back at least 40 years, that instead of getting more equal, we're getting more unequal.
Senator Bradford said efforts like these won't continue to happen unless constituents continue to engage their representatives. He stressed the importance of reaching out no matter what level of government you start with.
Engage your legislator. And whether you are represented by African American or not, I would say call those members and say, hey, this is vitally important to me. And many times we do not do that. We as individuals just assume someone else is going to deal with that, someone else is going to raise that issue. But I tell you, phone calls, emails that we get, letters that we get, we read them and we respond to them. And if you apply enough pressure, we will, want to respond and do the right thing. Often they always complain about their schools. And I says, when's the last time you went to a school board meeting? And they look at me real crazy. I says, that's where I would start. I wouldn't start by calling your congressperson or your state legislator. Start with my local school board member. And a lot of times they don't even think like that. I says, go to your local school board member. Go to your principal and say, hey, I don't like this program. How do we change that? So it's engagement and communication on both levels by both the legislator and constituents as well.